All right, this is the FIFA podcast restarted. I don't even know how to qualify it. It is the same podcast. We are doing the same thing, but this is episode 1 of us coming back at it. So forgive us if we're a little rusty. It's been 2 years? 2 years since we've done this.
2 or 3, yeah.
Yeah.
2 or 3.
So it's Polar. You guys know me if you're watching this on the Twitch channel. You guys know who I am. You know what I'm doing. You also probably know this handsome man right over here. Why don't you introduce yourself real quick?
Well, on PlayStation and Reddit, I go as TheGoMLStick, but you can just call me Sam.
Sam, Dan, GlPoLaR04, Polar, whatever you guys want to do.
Mm-hmm.
That's who we are. That's why we're here. You can catch this podcast hopefully the beginning of the week, every week on my Twitch channel, XlPoLaR04, and then after that, after it's cast, I guess would be the way to do it. After the stream, it'll be uploaded to my YouTube channel, and then that'll be cross-posted to Reddit and all that kind of stuff. And you guys should be able to see the links there. But yeah, that's us. We're back. We're doing our thing. The one thing I wanted to really talk about as we started was why we're back and why we left in the first place. I know most of you guys who watch on my YouTube channel or Twitch channel have seen that I'm playing a lot of Madden now, and not so much FIFA like I used to back 2 years ago. And I think for me, the personal reasons there is Madden's just run better on the Ultimate Team side, and their devs kind of just work a little bit better. So I took a step back from FIFA. Now, I don't know, Sam, did you step back like that?
Well, no, because back 2 or 3 years ago when we were doing the first run of this, you were the FIFA guy. I was more casual about it. But over that time period, you went to Madden. I tried to get better at FIFA. I've played a lot more of it, got a lot more into the game, and so it's sort of been kind of a flip.
Yeah.
I'm the FIFA nerd now.
Yeah,
You're obviously much better at the game, but
you say that, but what's our record this year? I think I've beaten you once the entire year.
Yeah.
I think it's just been mostly you on this year's game. Yeah. But what do you think of FIFA 18? How you feeling? What's your role with it? There's a lot of dimensions to it in terms of just gameplay wise. It can be frustrating. It can be also rewarding, but mostly frustrating. Yeah, so the way I have seen it, the way that I've been playing it, is I've been expecting nothing and seeing how we're gonna do. If I win, I win, which is great, and I like winning, but I don't expect to do very well, especially with how the team's been playing, with the team I have and how I've been playing with it. It's just been kind of rough this year, and later on we'll go into talk about what I was up to last weekend and how some of those guys that I was talking to thought about the game, but it's not good. So I'll do this because you know more about it than me. How would you describe the meta of this FIFA?
In some ways it's the same as it's always been. Pace wins, pace and strength rule everything. Look at last year with the guys like pro players using base Chris Smalling over people who are much better in real life. But yeah, be tall, be fast. That's basically it. Be strong.
Yeah,
that's the meta.
I think the one thing that has gotten to me is that I have no problem when good players in real life are good on FIFA. Mm-hmm. It's when bad players in real life are good on FIFA.
Right.
That's the thing that bugs me. It's like, who's that? The striker for
Gabriel Jesus?
No, Gabriel Jesus is actually pretty good.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, he's good, but we're okay with that. But then you have like a Martial who's basically Ronaldo, and it's like.
I was thinking that the in-form striker, the British guy from what is it? Bournemouth, maybe.
Callum Wilson.
Yeah. Callum Wilson, not that great. You watch him in real life, he's good. He's an impact player. You know, that's fine, whatever. You play against him in FIFA, the dude might as well be literal Jesus. Not Gabriel Jesus, he's Jesus, but actual Jesus. And stuff like that. Like Gerard Deulofeu. Gerard Deulofeu scored 13 goals the entire time he's been playing professional soccer. He is Ronaldo. That's who he is in the game.
Yeah.
Now, you have experience with the actual Ronaldo.
Yeah.
He's better, right? Like
there's in FIFA history Ronaldo's always been great. I don't know if they've done something to him because he's the cover boy now, but it's either him or R9 to go down as the best player to ever be in a FIFA. And it's probably CR7.
Yeah. I mean, you have we'll look at it later, but you've got team of the group stage, the striker CR7.
I have the 95 one, yeah.
And we've both played a little bit, I won't say extensively, but a little bit in drafts with the 99 CR7. I was at Sam's house for his birthday. I went out to visit him, and we were doing some drafts. We pulled 99 or 90. Is it 98 Messi and a 99 Ronaldo?
Yeah.
The two team of the year guys. Yeah. And basically, I told him if I get space with either of them, I'm just shooting. That's just how it's going to work.
That's how it works.
And it worked more often than not.
Yeah.
So we're going to slide on to the next thing real quick. I mean, FIFA, and this kind of ties into the first thing, as my thing is spamming out real quick. It kind of ties into the first thing about how I feel about FIFA. But it's our current teams, and I'll pull them up right here for you. So my team is the first one right here, and it's it's an MLS team, which is funny to say because I usually build an MLS team at least once throughout the year. But this year, the MLS is actually like good before team of the season, which is surprising. But it's 4-2-3-1 narrow, Ibra up top, Kaká, informed Evan-Eric Kaká, informed Dempsey, informed Vela, Birthday Schweinsteiger, end of an era Pirlo. And then the back line is the only place where the MLS really struggles. So we've got Schmelzer, Jonathan Tah, upgraded Mattia Perin, base Barzagli, and then base Florenzi. Just a little side note, Jonathan Tah is actually a monster. Sam can attest to this, but we've played back and forth a bunch, and Jonathan Tah locks down Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yeah, he's terrific.
It's weird, and it doesn't feel like it should work, but it does work. This 82 Jonathan Tah is amazing, even with his medium work rates. And then we'll go to Sam's team here. I'll let Sam explain it, but you guys can look at it right here. So Sam, when you went through building this team, first off, over his birthday weekend, I built a team for him. This is not it. He didn't like the team I built for him. So go ahead and explain why you went with this team.
Well, the team Dan built for me was a false nine, and I just wasn't feeling it. And I've been wanting all year. My big goal this whole year was to get the 87 Del Piero, because the striker one that's fast, and I want to just use him. And so I said, you know what? I've got the coins. I've had a lot of pack luck. Why not just go all out? So I built this 4-1-2-1-2 narrow with team of the group stage Ronaldo up top. You've got the 87 striker Del Piero up top with him. Cam, you've got base Isco. You got Modric on the left, Matuidi at CDM, Pjanic on the right, left back Alexandro. The two center backs are Keely, Manolas. The other fullback is Florenzi, base Florenzi. And then you have 88 Handanovic in goal. It's a massive team. I didn't have the coins to go out and get, foot birthday Florenzi or foot birthday Bruno Perez or some of the informs, but it's a pretty massive team. I think Alexandro is just one of the best left backs to ever be in a FIFA. He's incredible.
I think it would be between him and David Alaba, right? Those are the two guys.
Yeah, I don't know some of the other guys that have come along, but to start the game, those two for sure were the best. Alexandro is incredible.
Now, with your team, do you feel like so that Del Piero? Now, I'm not gonna say his stats are too low for how he plays, but do you think he outperforms his rating?
Well, in 92 games, I have 81 goals and 78 assists. So yeah, I'd say he outperforms his rating. He will miss sitters. He's not the perfect player. Uh, his shot isn't the absolute greatest. Apparently, his 92 prime one doesn't miss a finesse shot. Like literally, just doesn't miss. But I mean, he's a very fun card to use.
But like, would
he
you
plays like a 91?
But, right? Would you say that this 87 Del Piero is better than say base 88 Harry Kane?
Oh yeah, without a doubt. Especially for how should he be better? Maybe not, but is he with this meta? But yes, he is.
Well, not even just the meta, but do you think there's something that comes with him being an icon that allows him to makes him flow a little bit better with the game?
I think so. I don't. The people who you really notice just stand out because of who they are. I think it's a lot of the prime icons and it's CR7, but you'll see Del Piero do things and get his foot on the ball in ways where he probably shouldn't.
All right.
In my opinion.
All right. Good looks. And with this team, you've successfully gone from what were you, Division 4 before that? You're now up in Division 1, right?
I was Division 3 and now I'm in Division 1. Yeah.
All right. So there we go. It's shot him up. We're doing the job with the team, which is all we can ask for. So those are our teams. We're obviously not running full prime legend squads here. We're not. Sam has some coin. We'll say that, but I'm balling on a budget pretty much. Mm-hmm. I'm building with anything I can, and the MLS is actually it's fun, right? Like I go into teams, and I've always gone into FIFA, whereas I want to play the game the way I see the game being played. So I play with a lot of possession. Surprisingly, leading into the next thing, at the EMLS Cup that was at PAX East last weekend, there were a lot of guys playing possession style with 4-2-3-1 narrows, and I was really shocked by that. There was actually one guy, the guy from Montreal, who made it to the final and ended up losing. He whipped out the false 9. Japes lost his mind. It was kind of funny. It was pretty funny. But with Schweinsteiger and Pirlo acting as a double pivot, I said that right? They control the entire midfield. And then the shocker of this team has actually been informed Clint Dempsey. He just kind of shows up and does things that no one expects him to. Like, they'll give him space on his right foot, and I'll be like, fuck it. Why not have this 30-yard shot? And he'll put it in the top corner, and I'll be like, oh, all right, Clint. Whatever you say, my guy. Whatever you want there. But yeah, that's how we're playing FIFA this year. It's not we're not super loaded. We're also not the best at the game, but it's how we do. We enjoy the game. I'll say this. I enjoy the game, but I do find myself like, all right, that's enough FIFA for the day. I have to go do something else. Go outside and pretend to be a real boy. But as I was talking about the EMLS Cup, I was at PAX East over the weekend. I was in Boston, and I didn't know that the EMLS Cup was happening until the day before when I went and I was looking at all the exhibits and stuff, and I was like, oh, EMLS Cup FIFA 18. I'll take a look at that. I'll see what that's about. And then I saw on Twitter my favorite YouTuber and a guy I've had the pleasure of talking with and meeting a couple times, Air Japes, was shoutcasting the tournament. And I was like, well, shit, I guess I have to check this out now. And to my surprise, when I got there as the doors opened. I walked in, I was there with my cousin and my brother, who aren't super big FIFA heads. My brother understands it. He played soccer in college. He gets why I play, but he doesn't play. They're both League of Legends and PUBG and Fortnite guys. So they're a little bit different. But we went over, there was a big PUBG booth where they had 100 people go in at a time. And you all played against each other in one big game of PUBG. So that's where we made a beeline to, because we know there would be a big line. And as I was walking by, I look over to the big, they have what's called the PAX Arena. right? So it's a big esports stage essentially, and they've got seats lined up, and they've got a casting booth, and it's really cool. And I look over and I see Japes and Zwayback and Dirty Mike and Matt HD Gamer and Chew Boy. They were all standing in this little like YouTube who's who circle. I was like, Jesus Christ! I didn't know all these people were gonna be here. Damn. So after our PUBG game, I went over. It was like literally right across the aisle from each other, right? I walk over and I go and I say hi to Japes, and I was like, "What's up, man? I'm glad you're like in the public eye again. It's great." And we had a good conversation. We talked about his wife and his puppy, and I say puppy. The dog is 60 pounds now and will give actual like standing hugs. But the last time we saw the dog on the internet, it was yay big. So I had a good time talking to them, and then I got to watch some of the games. And honestly, I was surprised. I wasn't surprised at how similar the teams were. With the way that the rules of the tournament worked, you had to have 3 MLS players in your squad. One of them needed to be from the club you were representing, and then 2 other ones. So, say I was representing NYCFC. The guy who was representing NYCFC made it to the semifinals. It's Diddy Chris Lido. His name's Chris. I got to talk to him for a bit. He's a cool dude. I would have to pick. Now, NYCFC has a weird distinction. Same with Orlando. Pirlo and Kaká were not eligible because they are not current MLS players. Mm-hmm. So they could not use end of an era Pirlo. They could not use end of an era Kaká. However, Birthday Schweinsteiger was perfectly legal, and he was on 5 of the 16 teams, I want to say. But essentially the way they would do it is they would link up the 3 MLS players as best they could, and then you saw a La Liga team on the other side. There was one guy using Conte and Pogba. Every team had Nacho, second informed Nacho, and team of the year Sergio Ramos, with the highest rated De Gea that they could get. So every team had that defensive triangle in the back. Marcelo was on all of the teams. Cristiano Ronaldo was on every single one of the teams. Messi was on most of the teams. I saw some Gareth Bale. I saw some Luis Suarez. But basically it was La Liga. La Liga and then MLS. The thing that surprised me the most was how much these guys would do before the start of the game. They would set their team up, chemistry as perfect as they can, and then they would go into game and change everything. They would change their custom tactics. They would change their formation. They would change their player instructions. They would move where the players were sitting. So it was really interesting to me how they were doing that. And they weren't all the same. It wasn't all 4-1-2-1-2 narrow. There was a lot of 4-1-2-1-2 narrow, but there was 4-2-3-1 narrow. There was some false 9. There was 4-2-3-1 wide, which was interesting to me. We saw some 4-3-3-4. Some regular 4. Actually, there was only one guy who ran 4-1-2-1-2 wide. Hectic Jukes was also there. I didn't mention Jukes, but Jukes was there too.
Very good player.
Jukes is great. And he's on Reddit all the time. It's good to talk to him.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I get to watch some of these games. I get to hear Japes shoutcast it. And honestly, listening to Japes shoutcast a game of FIFA, it's like watching one of his old streams. And I talked to him before the game started. And he was like, yeah, I need to sneak in like all of my like, little sayings, because that's what people are going to want to hear. And the guy he was casting with was a former MLS player. His name escapes me because he wasn't anything special. He was a defender for a bunch of teams that moved around. He was a journeyman defender in the MLS. He's a wicked nice guy. I just can't remember his name for the life of me. But he snuck in. He didn't get. There's no one who did a chip, so he didn't get to welcome anyone to the chip life during the tournament. He was like, that's the one thing I want to do, is welcome someone to the chip life live on stream. But we got top net, the best net, an absolute thunderbolt into the back of the net. Right, all the old stuff that
All
you
the
remember
classic,
him
yeah.
saying, right? You know, he called. I think he called Bale the young Gareth Bale at one point, even though he's not. You know, or no, it was the young Paul Pogba is what it was.
Okay.
An absolute thunderbolt into the back of the net by the young Paul Pogba, right? Just Japes things, and it was good. It was fun.
Yeah.
And honestly, for a free event, because it was free, I didn't have to pay any extra aside from getting into packs. It was as well run as some of the League of Legends events that I've been to. All of the summer finals that were at TD Garden and the World Finals that I went to see at Madison Square. Like, they had the same production value on a smaller scale. It was really cool. And all the guys that were there from the community were talking about it, and they were really welcoming to all the fans that were there. They were welcoming to people who were just coming by to say hi, because PAX is obviously a big... I don't know, have you ever been to... You've never been to...
I've never been to PAX, no.
Well, maybe next year we'll have to make that a thing.
Yeah.
You'll have to come out with us.
Yeah.
But... maybe if we get good enough at this, we can do a live little thing before the tournament, right?
Yeah.
Speculative thinking.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of people there for games and like just cosplayers from different stuff. Like, there are people that have no idea or don't even pay attention. They know what soccer is, but if you told them, "Oh yeah, I'm here for a FIFA 18 tournament," they'd be like, "What? I'm sorry, what's that?" You know. Because on the scale of games that were around, it was, PUBG, Fortnite, League of Legends, all these games were up here, and then you had FIFA way at the bottom, like, at least to me. When I told my brother and my cousin I was going to say, hey, there's a FIFA tournament, I'm going to go watch some of it, they're like, well, I don't know why you would. Okay, I mean, I guess. But yeah, no, it was super fun. I got to talk to... Actually, you want to know my biggest surprise about that tournament was?
What?
I got to talk to Zwayback. Now,
Okay.
Zway has never been my favorite YouTuber. Now, don't crucify me for this, Zway, if you ever hear this. Never was my favorite. In person, he's the nicest dude. Like, straight up, the nicest human. He had never met me before. He didn't know who I was. He'd never, he came over. I was, standing there watching. He had, this 5-minute conversation about, how the tournament was and blah, 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 blah. Now he's got a flight that he's doing a segment on the stage with Japes, and then he's leaving, and he's got to bail out to Logan to get a flight home because he had to play some foot champs before the weekend was over and get it for his stream. But that was the biggest surprise to me. Dirty Mike was talking to everyone. Like, Dirty Mike was the guy. He was talking, he was... he went by Mike LaBelle at the tournament. I don't know him as Mike LaBelle, but I knew him as Dirty Mike. Everyone. He was like the big man on campus. Everyone wanted to talk to Mike.
That's interesting.
It was him and then Matt HD Gamer, who I didn't even know what he looked like. I had never seen him before, but... Yeah, and then you can't miss Chew Boy. He's actually like ridiculously tall. He's like 6'3".
Is he?
Yeah, he's huge. I was like, oh... I know who that is, but it was really cool. It was good to see, like, all these guys are obviously from all around, and they were all in Boston for this free MLS tournament, put on by the MLS. Now, the guys who were running it were MLS production guys, and they were really cool about it. But, yeah, I think it's cool. I think they should do more of it. I think that it being Ultimate Team was interesting. I do think they should put some more restrictions on the lineups, make them more interesting, like have to use more variety of players. Because seeing Team of the Year Ronaldo in every game got a little repetitive. What my cousin said was, I just saw Messi and Ronaldo on every team playing together and also playing against each other. I think I'm good. I don't need to watch this anymore. So I think more variety would be good there. But overall, pretty good. I hope to see more of it. And, shout out to... it was Kid Mamito who won it. He was the player representing Houston Dynamo. And he was a really good player. A lot of these guys don't play the way that you see in Weekend League, if that makes any sense. Like, you've played more Weekend League than me, but what would you say your stereotypical Weekend League player was?
High pressure, he'd take his striker and just constantly chase you down, type of thing.
Yeah,
That's basically how they play, counter-attacking.
These guys were super patient.
Mm-hmm.
Super patient. And it was really, really interesting to watch how the pros actually play and how it differs to what, we think of the meta in game. Like, they use meta tactics, but they use them in a whole different way.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that was ELMLS Cup. If you guys are on, Japes or Zway or Mike or Hectic Jukes or any of the guys, give them a shout out. Let them know they did a good job. Keep an eye out for the next tournament because hopefully it'll be run just as well. So yeah, that's basically all I had to say on that. Did you have any questions about it? Did you have anything that you were?
No. I was just surprised that these guys were all there like that. It seems like there was a small but passionate FIFA group out there, which is nice to see. It's good to see that people still care about the game.
Right. The only guys I didn't see that I thought I might see, I didn't see 9 Skills. I thought I might see 9 Skills, and I didn't see Bateson.
That would have been funny.
I thought I would see those two guys.
It's a long flight for him.
Well, I mean, Chew Boy was there. I don't know. Does Chew live in the U.S. now?
I don't know. I think he does.
Maybe all those guys were from the U.S., but and it's the MLS. But I thought I would see one of the bigger English guys. But that's why I thought I would see AA9 because he's with DC, right?
Yeah.
Something like that.
He's DC. Yeah.
And Zwayback was coming from Miami. And Japes was coming from Chicago, so.
Yeah, so.
And the other thing that was really interesting is Adidas kitted all the pros out. They all had, the same... They were wearing the same Adidas team wear, sweats, the same Adidas Ultra Boost sneakers. They weren't Yeezys, but they were Prime Knit Ultra... So you could tell who the players were if you looked at their sneakers, because they were all exactly the same color, the same style. And then they got a brand new MLS jersey, the home kit of their team with their name and number on the back, which I thought was pretty cool. So shout out to the MLS and Adidas for doing that for our guys. Think we move on? That enough MLS talk? Yeah?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. So next up, we've got this week's Team of the Week. Team of the Week 29. It's really good. This Team of the Week's really good. Headlined by the 3 strikers up top, Aubameyang, Lewandowski, Ibra. Aubameyang is the guy this Team of the Week. You pull Aubameyang, you've done well. Lewandowski is surprisingly just as expensive. But, I mean, we all know how FIFA is. 98 pace is 98 pace, and that's just the way it's going to be.
Yeah.
That Aubameyang card will be relevant until the end of FIFA.
I played against it once, and he destroyed me. so he's very, very good.
And then you've got Ibra, who's, for the MLS guys, that Ibra looks nice. It's too expensive. Unfortunately, it's also already outdated because of the foot swaps card that he has. But it is a nice card. Then you've got Perisic, who's also nasty.
He's extremely good.
You put this Perisic into a 4-3-2-1 at left forward. That's some good stuff. I'd use him as the left wing in a false 9. But 4-star skill moves, 5-star weak foot, right-footed on the left-hand side, 88 pace, 87 shooting, 87 passing, 87 dribbling, 81 physical. He's a pretty strong guy, too. I don't know what his strength is off the top of my head, but I would guess it's 75 or higher. On the other side... 81.
It's 81.
There we go.
Very good, yeah.
On the other side, you got Quadrado. 5-star skillers. You've got a really useful player. I mean, he's, now the best right wing in...
Well,
aside from the one
Dybala.
Dybala card. Dybala has an inform on that side. But if you use Dybala there, you can't use him elsewhere. So
right.
But yeah, that Quadrado looks really good. He is right-footed on the right side, if I'm not mistaken, though.
He is, yeah, it's the one thing with him.
That's the one thing. So he's not inverted, but that's all right. 93 pace and 5-star skill moves is just fun.
Yeah,
as Japes would say, the Quadrominator is always fun to use. Dele Alli sneaks into the team of the week this week. Doesn't sneak in. He had 2 goals against Chelsea. He deserved it. I don't know. Dele on FIFA's never been good for me. He doesn't that. I don't think that's a 200,000 coin card to me.
No, I've never played with him, but I've never really seen anyone use him, so I'm gonna guess he's not great.
I mean,
compared to what else you can get.
What's 90 Ericsson going for? 89 Ericsson, for that matter.
Ericsson?
Yeah, I mean, so the difference would be Dele hyperlinks with Harry Kane, but Ericsson, I would bet, is just much better for the same price.
89 Ericsson is going for 140.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So there's no reason to get this Dele Alli card unless you absolutely need the chemistry to Harry Kane. But Sami Khedira, slow, good defensive midfielder. Debuchy, again, slow. This Debuchy, actually, sub him in at DM.
Mm-hmm.
If you've got a La Liga team or just need a defensive mid super sub, that Debuchy is really good for 20K. Vestergaard is kind of garbage. I would say between Vestergaard and Raul are the 2 worst starters in this. They're just not good center backs. You can't use a center back with less than 70 pace this year. You just can't do it. And we can actually move into our budget beasts because we're now on the bench here. I just want to mention the 2 goalkeepers, Consigli and Adan. They're both really good.
Yeah, both solid budget choices if you need a guy in that respective league or nation. For sure.
And Consigli has the bonus of being Italian in the Serie A. I almost said
he'll strong link. You almost said.
I almost said Calcio. I can't do that. That's so dumb. But he'll strong link with any of the Juventus center backs. The Italian. He'll strong basically Chiellini, Bonucci. He can strong link with. But you've got Hernandez and Luis Alberto. Those are our 2 budget beasts from this team of the week. Luis Hernandez, Luis Alberto. We'll look at Alberto first because he's just who I have pulled up first. For 32,000, this is a really nice card.
Yep. For the price, you've got a 4-star guy who's got pace. He's got good shooting. His passing and dribbling is great. His strength isn't even bad at 76. His only problem is he has 36 aggression.
Right. He's definitely not a defensive midfielder. I'd play him at attacking mid. You know, he doesn't have volleys or penalties, but past that, he's really good. I would give him. I'd probably engine ? Engine.
I mean, I would boost. I'd make sure the pace and shooting was boosted. To be honest, that's what I would worry about. I would almost even go.
The only reason I say engine is because of the balance, because his balance is 67.
That's true. Yeah, probably. Yeah, do an engine on him. I mean, he's got 86 finishing. You know, his 97 short passing. So
yeah,
you know.
Right, and when you put the engine on him, he gets 95 acceleration, which is really good. Yeah. You know, he won't be 88 long shots, 80 shot power, 86 finishing. He's good. He's good at shooting.
You really could do anything with the guy. You could put a hawk on him. You know, he's got some glaring weaknesses like the balance and the aggression. You know, but he's for 32K, not many better options. Honestly.
Yeah, he's really good. And then Luis Hernandez. We were actually just gonna go with Luis Alberto, and then we looked at him and we were like, wait, this Hernandez card is nasty for 13K.
Yeah. For 13K, you're getting a center back, a Spanish center back in La Liga who's got 76 pace. He's good on the ball. He's 6 feet tall. And he's got good work rates.
This is super underrated. He has a 4-star weak foot.
Yeah. So he can pass with the other foot. You know, it's.
And I think you throw an anchor or a shadow on this guy.
Yeah.
He's just. I mean. With a shadow, I mean, with an anchor, I would do anchor.
I would do anchor, yeah.
But anchor gives him 82 pace. He goes up to 90 strength and 96 jumping with 81 aggression. And he has 85 stamina. He's not going to get tired.
Yep.
You know?
Like I said, he's 6 feet tall. So when he's got 96 jumping and 84 heading, he's a threat there. He's not going to get pushed over.
Yeah,
fantastic.
You put an anchor on this card, and you've got an 89 center back for 13.5, maybe 14K.
He's discard. I mean,
so like I am literally going to go out and buy him after this podcast.
Yeah.
Like that's where I'm seeing this. That's what I've got.
I don't see a weakness. I really don't.
Yeah, there are very few center backs that play the ball as well as he does, and it's looking good there. Next up, that was. I mean, the team of the week's good. No, I know no one wants to pull packs because we're getting team of the season and blah 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 and this and that, and we were getting a bunch of league SBCs. Oh, by the way, new league SBCs dropped today. Here, 1 second, I'll go and pull those up. We've got Greece.
We got Premier League and the Belgian League.
And the Belgian League. So the two cards that came out recently are Griezmann for the two usual cards. I mean, no one's going to use the Belgian League one. But Griezmann was La Liga, and that was, 2 days ago?
Yeah, 2 or 3.
2 days ago was Griezmann. And then De Bruyne was today. Now, again, this De Bruyne card is outdated. He has a Team of the Year, 96.
I mean, they're both pretty outdated.
Well, so the Griezmann is his highest rated card that you can get.
Right, but he's going to get a Team of the Season.
Right. Both these guys are going to get Team of the Season cards. So I don't think they're worth it personally. None of the only league SBC I would do is probably the MLS one. Just because it's gonna be a while before Giovinco gets a card that matches up with it. The rest of them, or the smaller league ones, right? If you want that charisma, right? Those are the ones I would do. I wouldn't be chasing
the Promes. I don't know if he has better cards now, but that Promes was very good at the start of the game.
The Russian league one's not bad. I know you did for whatever reason. For whatever reason, he decided to get Marek Hamsich.
I did that because it was Team of the Year was about to come out, and I wanted to collect every pack I could possibly get my hands on.
You got all the packs. That's right. That's what it was for. Yeah. So he has Marek Hamsich, and that Hamsich card is really good.
It is really good.
It's not a question there. The Hamsich is good, but I wouldn't go chasing those SBC cards because they're untradeable and they'll be outdated.
Is Hamsich worth 200K that you're not going to get back? No, he's not.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
at the time, it was.
I had a hard time justifying Kaká being worth 110K.
Yeah, that's the only reason I didn't get him. Pirlo was 10K.
Yeah, Pirlo was super cheap. So, if you don't have this Pirlo card, you either just don't care about Italians or the MLS, or just don't think he's useful. But he was really super cheap, so anyone could have had him. But yeah, that's Team of the Week. Team of the Week is super easy this week. There's a lot of stuff that stands out to me. Go for that Aubameyang if you want it. It'll be useful all year. And that's basically it. So we're going to transition into the second to last segment of the podcast, and this is something that we're going to do. We're going to run it every week up until the World Cup, as we're going to break down one of the groups in the World Cup and give our thoughts and who we think's going to move on. And in 8 weeks or so, we'll have all the groups done, and it'll be the week before the World Cup, and we'll probably do some predictions and stuff like that. But if we go look at Group A of the World Cup, starting from the top, we've got Russia, Saudi Arabia, Egypt, Uruguay. Now, this is going to be a short segment because this is a really boring group. So, Sam, I don't know about you, but I've got Uruguay on top, then Egypt, then Russia, then Saudi Arabia.
Same exact thing. Russia, the Russia-Egypt argument could be had. It is in Russia, and the Russians aren't bad by any stretch of imagination. But with the way Mo Salah's playing, he's carrying, the Egyptian team into it. I think he's going to get them past the group stage.
I think that's what it is too. If you look at teams that are built around one-star player, they tend to do better than very well-balanced teams that don't have any star power. Costa Rica with Keylor Navas. Their one really good player who's really, really good got them a lot farther than anyone thought Costa Rica was going to go.
Mm-hmm.
Mo Salah is better than any player. I would say he's better than anyone in that group. I mean, we're putting him up against
maybe Suarez.
Suarez and Cavani are the other two guys.
I would take him over Cavani. Suarez that's an argument, but yeah. And
So
plus, they're not a terrible team. Like, they've got some decent pieces in Egypt. It's not like he's carrying a bunch of high school kids.
yeah, that's true. He's not carrying high schoolers. That's for sure. Actually, he might be. I mean, I don't know how young the players are. They could be 18. Who knows?
Could be.
I mean,
Yeah,
Julian Green went to the World Cup for the U.S. while he was still in high school. So
that's true. It's actually true.
he could literally be carrying high schoolers to the group stage in the World Cup. But I also kind of want to see them do well just for the sake of Egypt.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that guy has so much pull in that country that if they do well, like, things will go well for the country for at least a little bit.
Right. Yeah. People were voting for him for president. I mean,
wasn't it like over 1 million votes?
Yeah, they crossed out the names of the two people who were actually running, and they voted his name, which is hysterical. They've got this really awesome street artist who did this amazing mural of him. They love him over there.
Yeah, it essentially it would have been like us crossing out Trump and Hillary and writing in Pulisic. Over 1 million of us.
Right. Yeah.
Which, to be fair, I'm kind of disappointed I didn't do that because who doesn't love Christian Pulisic?
Right.
And then we got Uruguay. Uruguay's a good team. They're gonna be a good team. You got Cavani and Suarez up top. You've got Diego Godin. They've got pieces. They'll do well.
They're going to make it through. I don't see Uruguay not making it through. They have too much experience. They've been here many times before.
Like, I don't like their team. I don't like the way Uruguay play.
Yeah.
But you got to give it to them. They're a good team.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I don't think Saudi Arabia has any chance.
Yeah,
so
no.
It's really,
they're there because they're there. I mean,
yeah.
Iran was in the last World Cup. I didn't think they were going to do anything, and they didn't. So Saudi Arabia's coming in last in the group. Russia. I mean, who's Russia's best player? Akinfeev still? I look this. You know what? I'm gonna look this up. We're gonna go to Foothead. We're gonna look at the Russians and see who they even have. Nation.
Well, their highest rated.
Their highest rated card is
a guy named Mario Figueroa Fernandez.
No, there's a new guy, Alexander Kokorin.
Right, but for like base cards.
Oh, base cards.
Kokorin has a team in the group stage which is 82 rated, but there are a bunch of good players here and there.
Right, so like they have a bunch of just solid gold players, right? This team, you could build a full gold Russian team.
Yeah, and almost every single one except for Cheryshev plays in the Russian league.
Yeah, Cheryshev plays in La Liga. Interesting.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll be a reverse Domenico Crescito because he doesn't play in Serie A. He'll never make the team.
Yeah. I mean, if they had Yashin, I might give him a chance, but he's long gone.
Yeah, I don't give the Russians much of a shot. They're hosting. They have home field.
They have home field, and that's going to motivate them. And they're one of those teams like you were talking about that doesn't really have star power, but they're one organized unit. So we'll see what happens. But I bet on Egypt.
Yeah, they're not the 1980 hockey team. Let's just say that.
Definitely.
So yeah, that's Group A. Next week we'll come back with Group B. Group B is way more interesting. Or well, not even really. It's Spain and Portugal, but we'll get there next week. But that's Group B for you, so you guys have something to look forward to next week. And then the last thing I wanted to look at was some games this week, some actual real life games that we think will be interesting. Maybe take a look at marquee matchups. I know this week is Spurs Man City. I think they might do that. I don't know if I won't say there's a particular inform watch that you should get from Spurs Man City. Inform watch, whoever the hell starts at striker for Liverpool. They're playing Bournemouth. They'll kick the crap out of them.
Yeah.
Again, you could also say probably Lukaku. He's playing against West Brom, which means he'll score 8 goals. Because Romelu Lukaku scores against no one but bad teams. So, I mean, Tottenham Man City's game of the week in the Premier League. I don't know. What about Serie A? Anything?
Well, the Capital Derby, Lazio Roma.
Lazio Roma. Okay, so there's another marquee matchup that should happen. Lazio Roma.
It's going to be a huge game because if you look at the table, they're essentially tied. Lazio's in third, Roma's in fourth on goal difference. So it's a huge game that has big Champions League implications. It's going to be extremely intense. Don't go to the Stadio if you're in Rome this weekend.
Yeah, that is the game of the week. I mean,
That really is.
Tottenham Man City might get more people watching, but that's the game. Last week, the game was Atletico Real. This is the game.
This is the game.
Again, inform watch. Anyone who plays for Juventus, they're playing against Sampdoria. It's not going to go well for Sampdoria. It just really isn't. I hate saying that about other teams, but it really isn't.
Well, the games to watch would be Inter at Atalanta, because Inter is right up there and they're fighting for a Champions League spot. Napoli at Milan, because Milan is still fighting to keep hold of their spot of the Europa League, and obviously Napoli is trying to catch Juventus, which is huge. So also like you said, the Juve game, and then the Derby della Capitale.
So Serie A's got some games this week.
It's got some insane.
If you want to watch some football this week, Serie A's the way to go.
Go that way.
La Liga is nothing huge. You got Barcelona at Valencia. That looks like the biggest game to me.
Yep.
Real Madrid's at Malaga. Atletico Madrid is home to Levante. Sevilla Villarreal. That looks like a decent game on paper. And then the Bundesliga. We've got, what do we have in the Bundesliga this week? Anything good? Schalke Dortmund. Okay. There's your Bundesliga game. You want a Bundesliga game? Schalke Dortmund. That'll probably also be a marquee matchup. So keep an eye out for that one. Also, if you want more informs, Munich is playing Mönchengladbach. That's not going to go well for Mönchengladbach.
No.
So
look for maybe a Thiago inform or Hummels inform or something like that.
Right.
Because they're going to steamroll.
That's where I'd see it. So that's basically it. That's all we had. That's all we had paired for this week, and we kept it perfectly on time. We're at 47 minutes, which is exactly what we were hoping for. We got a little long-winded last time we were around, so we tried to keep it short and sweet. But I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys are going to come back and watch us do this podcast every week, hopefully. I'll try and get on Twitter or Reddit if something's going on and we're not going to make it. But yeah, that's us. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next time. So yeah, that's about it.
Bye, guys.